Hello everyone. Since you've clicked on this video, then you're probably a bachelor student who is thinking about continuing to a postgraduate degree, an employee who's looking for international certification in his or her field, and I would like to tell you that this is the best time to make this very important step, since we see competition in the job market today has never been so high. We see companies nowadays offering entry-level jobs with really high requirements. And I think this should be a motivation for you to continue developing yourself and your career. In this video, I would like to give you a 7-step process to start your master's here in Germany. I have been enrolled at a German university. I'm currently studying at my 4th semester, and I have been in Germany for over 2 years now. In this time, I have received endless requests and questions from friends and family members asking me about their application, how to start an application, what documents do they need. And in this video, I would like to answer those questions and share my experience with you. So let's get started. So the first step would be to start learning the language. And in this step, I don't recommend that you go and enroll in a language course right away. I think it would be better to start with small baby steps, learning the alphabet, the pronunciation, simple greetings. Those baby steps would come a long way in your language learning journey. Learning a new language is of course a very long and hard process, but it's highly rewarding if you want to enjoy your time here in Germany and make new friends, if you're looking to start employment after your graduation. In the description of this video, I will link some language learning channels on YouTube that I found very helpful during my language learning journey, and some of them I still watch. They are very enjoyable, and I hope that you find them as helpful as I did. Step number 2, and this is an extremely important step since some of the following steps on this list depend on it, which is to plan your finances, to understand how much money you would need for at least the first year of your studies. So an average student requires 853 euros per month. According to the Federal Ministry of Education and Research, this amount of course changes from one state to another. It could be higher in states like Bayern, Hamburg or Berlin due to the high costs of living, especially the rents. But for the sake of simplicity, let's assume 853 euros per month. This amount will go towards your living expenses such as accommodation, food, health insurance, stationery and books, as well as other university fees. As you probably know, the majority of German universities offer tuition-free courses, both for national and international students, although you have to pay a relatively low semester fee. For example, here in TU Dresden, the semester fee is 285 euros per semester. For this little fee, I get to freely use the public transportations within Dresden and travel within the entire state of Saxony. And I get to benefit from services such as low meal costs at the university canteens and access to a huge collection of books, papers and publications in the state library. A great thing about studying here in Germany is that there are several institutes, political parties and other organizations that provide international students with scholarships. Those scholarships goes to cover their living expenses, but I have to say those scholarships are very competitive, but it is definitely worth it to apply for them. Step number 3, finding your target program. In this step, you need to start looking for the programs that are most suitable for you and with your bachelor degree. There is of today 380 recognized universities in Germany offering thousands of study programs. The majority of those programs are offered in German, but you can still find so many good programs offered in English. I hope this gives you plenty to choose from. Well, the good news is the job market here in Germany is quite a huge one, and there will be a good chance for you to find internships and jobs during and after your studies. But here I have to emphasize on the importance of learning the German language. Also, finding jobs in some fields is easier than others, but I think this could be a topic for another video. In this step, I wouldn't recommend that you go and look into university rankings, since the German educational standards are quite high. No one would care from which university you got your degree as much as how well you know your area of expertise. And the most important thing is whether or not you can get the job done. Step number 4, Get your documents ready. There are several documents that you need to consider when you're applying for a master program. Those can range from language certificates, recommendation, as well as motivation letters, university certificates, and transcripts, as well as the translation if needed. So what I recommend that you do in this step is to create a timeline with the important dates for your application. For example, the start and the deadline for the application period, the important dates for the examinations, language examinations, for example, like the staff, GOTA certificate, or IELTS. Of course, the start date of the actual studies that you're interested in, availability and waiting periods for visa appointments if you require a visa, and this should be made 6 to 8 weeks prior to the start of your studies to account for the waiting duration and the processing time for the visa itself. Also keep in mind that in most cases that you'll be required to make certified copies of your university certificates, depending on where you're applying from and where you're applying to. So check with the German university and check with the German embassy in your country. Step number 5, application time. So in this step, you already have all the required documents to start your application, and in this step you need to convince the university or universities of your dream to offer you a place in the master program of your choice. Of course, a well-written CV and a good letter of motivation are very decisive. There are a variety of videos online to improve writing your motivation letter and to help you better convey your passion and your excitement about the program. In the description of this video, I will link a great grammar checking tool that will help you to improve your writing in many ways. It would be better if you keep all communication with the university selection committee and contact persons in German, especially if you're applying to a German language program. If you still don't feel like your level of German will allow you to do so, there is a great website you can use to translate your letters, which is extremely helpful, and I think it works very well. So there are generally 3 ways of application to your master program depending on the university that you're applying for. For some universities, you can apply directly on the university application portal, which may or may not include an application fee. Some universities may ask you to send all the required documents by post or by mail. The most common way is applying using UniAssist, where you can find the majority of courses. Of course, there is an application fee when you use UniAssist. It is 75 euros for the first application per semester, and then 30 euros for every application in the same semester. I remember applying to TU Berlin, one of the leading universities in Germany, and I was not charged an application fee, so you should give it a try. Step number 6, visa interview. And this step is only for the people who are requiring a visa to enter Germany. So a common question here is, should you book a visa appointment if maybe you're not getting an acceptance? And I think the answer is yes. It is always better to have an appointment and not needing it than to need an appointment and not having it. So in this unlikely situation that you don't get an acceptance, it is always easier to reschedule your visa appointment. On your visa application, you need to prove your financial capability, how you're going to finance your stay in Germany, and this is going to be done through a blocked account or a letter from a sponsor or some other ways depending on the country that you're applying from. And I think there's so many details when it comes to the financial side of the application, and this could be left to another video. Of course, you can always get a scholarship and not have to worry about the financial side of your application, as I already mentioned in step number 2. In your visa application, you also need to provide proof of your accommodation. In this step, I recommend that you contact the student union of the university that you applied for. They will probably offer you a room, but you should contact them as soon as you get your letter of acceptance, as those rooms go very quickly. Some links in the description can also be of great help, but use them with caution. Don't offer too much personal details, don't transfer any money to any suspicious accounts, and of course, you should not sign contracts unless that you're here in Germany. Step number 7, arriving in Germany. So you have booked your ticket, you said goodbye to your friends and your families, and now you are here in Germany. It would help a lot if you have friends and family here, but in case that you don't, here are the first things that you should get done. First, you have to get settled in your university accommodation or dorms or any other accommodation that you have got for yourself, and you have to get the registration with the city. So a city registration is a very important document here in Germany. You will need it when you're opening a bank account, or you're starting a health insurance, or even when you're registering at the university. Secondly, of course, you have to open a bank account, especially if you have a blocked account. And as you can see, there is so many options, there's so many banks that you can open your account with, and you should see which banks are offering the best student accounts and you should book your appointment and go open your account with them. You will also need health insurance, and here you have two options. You can either go public or you can go private, depending on your budget and what is accepted by your university. And finally, you have to go and register at the university. You take all the required documents on the website and go there before a certain deadline. There is so many details to this, but I hope with these 7 steps you can put yourself on the right track to start your masters here in Germany. And as a wise man once said, it's important to see the first step, but not necessarily the entire staircase. So as you can see, this is a new channel that I have started to help you or someone you know who might be confused as I was when I was starting the process to come to Germany. I think people should not make the same mistakes that I have made in my application process. So more videos on tips and tricks and things I wished I known before are coming soon. So as they say, please subscribe, like, leave a comment and share this video with the people who are interested to come to Germany and study the master of their dreams. So thank you for watching. Until the next one.